Here it is, guys. Okay guys, it is now time to install the P11 LSD 70V transmission into a B13. This is not going to be a hydro conversion. I went ahead and swapped over the rod, which is in the previous video. You have to modify the old B13 one to make it work in here, but it is modified now. I just also changed the speed sensor, so this is the original B13 and this is the P11 one. You're going to want to swap that out, so keep that in mind. Remember, in previous videos I show you guys how to remove the transmission, install the clutch and flywheel. This is an Act 6-puck sprung, I think. Yeah, sprung clutch. But yeah, check it out. Now, with quick observation, dowel pens. Let's take a look at the dowel pens. There is dowel pen here, and that's it. There's one dowel pen. So on this one, which I have to remove this. I'm terrible at removing dowel pens. If you guys remember the video of the Gallant, I think I already showed you guys that video. It looked like Godzilla chewed up on it. So let me take a minute, try to see which dowel pen I could get out easier, and then we'll get to installing this. But remember, previous videos is how to make this rod work here. A little bit of machine work, got to tap out the excuse me. Excuse me. Got to tap out those rolled pins, but really is not that bad of a job. Coronavirus. Not really, just kidding. But then I showed you guys everything that I had to remove here. Hopefully I remember. I feel like it's been 2-3 weeks already. Just ran into issues with the flywheel bolts. Remember, the Gti-R has bigger flywheel bolts. If you're wondering why, watch previous videos. This is a Gti-R motor. So let's go ahead and get going. Alright, gonna go ahead and remove this dowel pen. I've already started. I actually just pulled the one out of the P11 transmission. That was much easier. So we'll keep this one out and let's toss on this transmission. Alright guys, I think I did not have the camera on when we put on the transmission. I had a dead battery, but thanks to my good friend Joe, we went ahead and put it on. This guy's saved me a ton of time. He's helped me before many years ago with the Sentra, and every time I need transmission help, he is the guy that always bails me out. So for real, thanks Broski.
Yeah, no problem.
Appreciate it.
Anytime.
So transmission is on. I got the motor mount here on the transmission mount. Still got to do the cross member. Not too bad. I have to replace the radiator hose because I did bust it when I was trying to do it by myself. But this Gti-R swapped with a P11 LSD 70V transmission. It's all installed. So I'll put on the starter in this video and the shift linkage and the rod, and everything for the transmission will be all in this video. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep hustling and get this done and move on to the next video on this car. Okay, I went ahead, tightened up all the bolts, so everything's nice and tight now. I have to add that little arm for the shift linkage from the old transmission, so I got to add that back on. I gotta plug in the sensors, recall where everything went, and keep going from there. I think I want to do the sensors right now before I forget. So I think it was this guy. I think I just looped it up here out of the way. So I'll drop these guys down. This guy's already there. I gotta do the speed sensor. I think it was these. So let me go ahead and get this loose and run these to where they need to go. And I'll show you guys right now in a minute. Okay, a few things I've noticed. This guy, these sensors are toast. I cannot get these guys off. I do need these because the plugs are on here and there's no taking these off and on. So it looks like I'm going to need to get 2 new sensors. Okay, for starters, here is the P11 sensors. I took those out with ease. Took that out. Also, I'm having an issue with the rods. I believe this is different than the other chassis because the old one went off of the motor mount, which I don't know, maybe I still can. Maybe I still can and I can leave this alone. Because I do have that rod assembly, whatever you want to call it, shifter BS. And I believe with that one, this top one sits on this side. And to be quite honest, I don't really want to switch these guys out. Especially if it involves removing the exhaust, because it's just a pain. It's a one-piece huge exhaust, but maybe I can actually make this one work with the stock motor mount, because if I remember right, this is how it went, and it bolts down on top of the, I want to say it's the motor mount, the rear motor mount. I can't remember though. This is terrible. So issue here, issue on the other sensor, wherever it's at, right here. This guy's gonna be an issue, I believe. So I'm just gonna go up and do the cable. And with that being said, I gotta flip this transmission around again. Show you guys why. Remember, I already did the speed sensor, but I gotta remove this guy, put this on that transmission. This has to go onto that transmission. So I'm gonna do that right now. Okay, you will see on this one, there's just the 2 bolt holes for that little arm bracket. On this one, there is 4, and you're gonna use the back 2. So I'm gonna go ahead and install that, and starter bolt is in right there. The other bolt is, follow my hand, right back there, right here. So starter's on now, and I never disconnected the power or anything, so that's all still hooked up. Okay, so went ahead, have on this little bracket, and this is not OEM, but this is how this car is with this bolt. I pulled it through. I had to loosen up the cable all the way. I'm sure there's going to be some playing that it's got to be done here with the adjustment. So that's on there for now, for the time being, until I can feel how the clutch feels when I get these rods on. And another thing, if I'm incorrect, let me know, but it seems like the P11 transmissions have this guy, this one, on this side. So this rod goes on this side on the P11s, and on the B13s it's on this side. So kind of interested to see how this works here shortly. I'm going to try to put on the cross member right now and the rear motor mount, just so I could see how this guy lines up. Even looks like this hits the sway bar, the front sway bar, so that's kind of interesting also. Maybe when I get the motor up a little higher, it should pull away from here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the cross member on and see how this looks. Okay, I'm doing the rear motor mount and trying to figure out this bolt here. There it is. All right, so I did find that bolt. Got to figure out, let's see, looks like I have 2 of the 3, so this one will go there, put this one right here, maybe. Maybe not. Trying to figure out which way these bolts go. I know this one goes here. Alright guys, correct me if I'm wrong. Doesn't seem like this bolt doesn't line up with the one in the transmission. Bolt goes through, but it's too small, and the bigger bolt that I have that should go in there doesn't seem to line up, and that really doesn't seem to line up. So yeah, that's an issue, but at this point we're gonna have to fly with it. Also, this transmission bolt doesn't line up. There's nothing to thread it in, so keep those in mind and let me know what's up with that one. I do have this one in and this one, and then the motor mount goes through this here, so that's all set up. And this is what I'm talking about, the shift linkage with this one here. This is how this one would be, a little something like that, which I will mess with this here shortly. So I'm gonna finish tightening up these bolts and then start playing with this guy. And I have the bolt for this one, which is right there. So gonna keep going. Okay, don't do what I just did. Get this part up first. Okay, I removed this mount, or this bolt. I loosened up this bolt here, just so I could kind of pivot this back so I could get these nuts lined up with these studs. And then I'm going to keep on moving. I don't want these tightened all the way just yet. I want everything to line up right. So they're snug. Now I gotta get this guy back on here. Now this guy's being a pain. Holy crap. Oh, this has a weird angle to it. Holy crap. is. Put your bolt through the top just in case if the nut comes off, your bolt's still in there. If you do it this way and your bolt falls out, where the nut comes loose, your bolt will just fall out. So I recommend through the top. Hopefully everyone else agrees. Okay, there goes that. Okay, so that's on there. Now the washer should go right there. Oh fuck, does it go on the inside? There it is, just like that. And this one goes right there. So now everything's on there. Now I gotta pull this in to get that bottom bolt in, which is not going to be very easy to line up because this is way off now. So let me go mess with the linkage inside and see, or the shifter, see if there's a certain position I need to put this just so I can line this guy up. So thank you. Be right back. Okay, I believe I have the transmission in first gear. This is how I'm going to pry this motor mount in place. Okay, I had an issue because for a second I had the wrong bolt in there. Now it's going in nice and smooth. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this guy tightened down. Alright, time to tighten up this guy. Okay, these two top bolts up here. Okay, and for this rod here, you're able to get to it from the top right here. Now, I do want to get the cross member on just to see how the shift linkage feels. So, and remember, this is also for the rod on a P11, which I think those rods, I don't even know if I'm calling it right again, but I think those guys work just fine. But for some reason on this one, I couldn't cross it over. This does hit the sway bar, which is kind of weird to me. So I'll see how that is after I put the cross member on and bring the motor up. So that's going to be my next task right now. Alright, so I got all the bolts out of the way. Cross member bolts up front, cross member bolts in the front, back and front, and then the bolt that goes through the motor mount is also out of the way. So I'll start with lining up the front motor mount. So the front bolts are lined up right there, but I want to make sure that the rear are. So I'm gonna snake back here. And it does look like it, so okay, cross member bolts are now tight. I'm exhausted, but I tightened them all. Should both be good. So let's go ahead and drop the motor. Voila. No movement, no budging. Now let me kind of clean up a little bit and see how this transmission feels. All right. Don't mind, a little dirty. Car's been sitting for a while. It's a very weird feeling clutch. I don't know. Hopefully this feels right. A little concerned about it. Huh. Clutch feels... I guess this feels pretty stiff. It's not hydraulic. I'm not used to this type of clutch. I think I do want to remove the sway bar or loosen it. Let's see. Oh no, okay. Maybe not. This feels kind of... Yeah, maybe it's alright. I'll go ahead and turn off the camera and check a few things. Okay guys, that'll be it for this video. Transmission's in, shift linkage is done, the rods are done. Hope you guys learned something or can teach me something. I just got to replace the radiator hose. And what else? The sensors, got to figure out the sensor issue. These transmissions feel super notchy to me. Even the one previously felt almost just like this one. I'm not a fan of how these transmissions feel at all. I don't remember my old B13 200SX SER feeling like this. So kind of strange, kind of odd. I do have to take that bolt out. I was trying to see if it goes in there, but no, it doesn't. Starter's on. Cross member is on. Let's see the rear mount, front mount. There it is. Take that guy out. Everything else is tightened. Missing bolt there. Missing bolt up there, I believe. All previous owner stuff. Remember, this is for P11, which I actually think that could have been part of my issue of why this felt kind of weird. I don't know, maybe it hit it, maybe it didn't. I'm gonna pull that off right now. Outside of that, like, subscribe, share, guys. And again, SR20 community, support the video, post in the comments what I could have done better. Thank you, guys. Post in the comments what I could have done better, so that we could teach other SR20 owners what to do and what not to do. But post without being jerks. Be supportive, help the community. Thank you, guys. Get the tools, do it yourself, save money into your own pockets, and I appreciate all the support, guys.